The geopolitical balance is shifting. Normally, in world politics, nations, generally speaking, do not interfere in other nations' politics, their relationship with other nations, and their banters with their enemies, but India broke the rule. And this indicates a major shift in the axis of politics in the world. It was very evident in Indian Ministry of External Affairs' unprecedented press release, which in absolute terms came out in support of French President Emmanuel Macron. In a major shift in the Indian government's rules of engagement, the Indian government has backed French President Macron on his efforts to eradicate Islamist fanaticism in his country. Also, the Indian government simultaneously denounced the utterances by Turkish leader Erdogan on French president. The press statement of October 28, 2020 by Ministry of External Affairs says that we strongly deplore the personal attacks in unacceptable language on President Emmanuel Macron in violation of the most basic standards of international discourse. We also condemn the brutal terrorist attack that took the life of a French teacher in a gruesome manner that has shocked the world. We also offer our condolences to his family and the people of France. Friends, there is no justification for terrorism for any reason or any under circumstances. This is what MEA press report said. And this was welcomed by the French ambassador in India, Emmanuel Lenin. France has started the first pushback to the Islamists in Europe and indeed around the world. Islamists have been asserting themselves in foreign countries, especially in Europe, forcefully with territorial and cultural domination. In a recent incident, where while one Muslim group converged on the streets for their namaz, the French people started singing their national anthem. This doing prayer on the street is not a requirement in any religion. It is a way to show their strength and humiliate the hosts by snubbing their nose, something that beef was used in India for. Let's not forget that Islamism is the fastest and unethically spreading fundamentalism in the world, and thousands of innocents have been killed, and there seems to be no ending to this menace called Islamic terrorism against humanity. Turkey and France have been at loggerheads for quite some time now. The Armenia-Azerbaijan war, the conflict in Mediterranean Sea between Greece and Turkey, and help from France thereof, it was all there for us to see. This battle was aggravated because of Turkey's radical take on France's progressive assertiveness on values of freedom and expression. Let us not forget that Turkey has been supporting Islamic terrorism in India's Kashmir along with Pakistan and China. On October 16, 2020, Samuel Paty, a teacher, was beheaded by his Muslim student for showing Muhammad's cartoons in his school class. President Macron shared this on his Twitter with a promise to bring in change. In a series of tweets, he wrote, "The words we got them, evil we named, we know what needs to be done. Our fellow citizens are waiting for action. The acts are there and we will intensify them." Who is the evil here is anyone's guess. In a next tweet, he wrote, "Our strategy to fight radicalization and Islamism has intensified over the past year with a terrible variation of actions. The results were tangible. I was able to see it in Saint Denis, where a group of people mobilized prayers." For your information, Saint Denis is a Muslim ghetto in northeast of Paris with over 5 lakh Muslims, and I've seen with my eyes no outsiders, non-Muslims are allowed there. Macron wrote, "For 3 years, places, establishments, prayer rooms, clandestine schools, indoctrination centers have been closed." This means in hundreds of places, radicalization and Islamization was professionally conducted. Imagine if this is happening in France, what would be its extent in India? And in the next tweet he writes, "In recent days, dozens of concrete actions have been taken against associations that carry an ideology of destruction of the Republic." Friends, what is this ideology of destruction he's talking about? Of course, Islamism. And what does it destroy? Yes, the Republic. If this is so visible in France, imagine its threat on Indian Republic. In the last tweet he said, as of tomorrow, the Council of Ministers, we will have to dissolve the de facto grouping of Sheikh Yassin. Our determination is complete. What is this Sheikh Yassin? Sheikh Yassin Collective is a group of radical Islamist militants who have been known to the authorities for several years for its media stunts, unauthorized demonstrations, and taking positions against laws on religious symbols and the wearing of the veil. No wonder its leader Abdul Hakim Sefroi was linked to the beheading of teacher Samuel Paty. In a recent 2,200-page report, Suburbs of the Republic investigated 4 eyes of social identity within France today: Islam, immigration, identity, and insecurity. The authors of the report show that France, which has between 5 and 6 million Muslims, the largest Muslim population in European Union, is on the brink of a major social explosion because of the failure of Muslims to integrate into French society. The report also shows how the problem is being aggravated by radical Muslim leaders who are promoting the social marginalization of Muslim immigrants in order to create a parallel Muslim society in France that is ruled by Sharia law. Now imagine, what is the intensity of these 4 eyes in a country like India? Macron's speech on October 21 left no doubt about his resolve and where France under him was headed. He even went ahead and tweeted a message in Arabic on how France will defend free speech and rational debate and not give in to radical Islamist ways. Macron is the first and perhaps the only European leader who is talking straight and directly about the dangers that fanaticism and radicalism of Islamists poses to any country and its society. As expected, he is being vilified by the so-called liberals and secularists who ally with Islamic terrorism for the reasons best known to them. That is why when the Indian government backs France's determined initiative against Islamism, you know that a new alignment is in the making around the world. Friends, French and Indian governments have pulled their socks against radical Islamism. Now it's our turn. Friends, this 10-minute report was done in collaboration with Drishtikon.com and I Am Buddha's young research team. This takes a lot of time, lot of efforts, and lot of courage. I'll appreciate if you support our initiative and help us in spirit, and if you can financially support it by donating at I Am Buddha Foundation site, we will appreciate it, and it will help us to bring arguments, conversations, and issues which media shies off. Thank you very much.